My computer's really slow, guys, so I apologize. I'm live. Welcome, guys. Welcome to my live stream. I'm not too sure what my connection is saying. My computer was lagging quite a bit, so I do apologize if um, if my setup is a little bit slow. I want to do something fun today. I'm probably gonna go back to the Telefy stuff in a separate stream. But for now, welcome, guys. For those of you who are returning, hello. For those of you who are new, my name is Will. I run Williams C# Walkthroughs, this YouTube channel, where I tutorial and walk through various C# features, functionalities, and I demonstrate video game development, app development, stuff like that. So, I was on LinkedIn earlier and I took this online test, but it wasn't on LinkedIn, it was on another website. And it was fun. It was fun to test my skills on my craft, which is C#. And there used to be a feature on LinkedIn where you could do technical tests on LinkedIn. I do not know why LinkedIn got rid of their technical test feature. It was like the best feature on LinkedIn. Like, you could literally take online tests on LinkedIn for like C#, Java, like Python and stuff like that, and you get like a badge. I don't know why LinkedIn got rid of that feature, like, to take tests. So I went and did the next best thing. I went and did a little online test and I posted on my Instagram. I got one question wrong out of like 25 or something like that. I was kind of thrown off by the way the way the question was like phrased, so I don't know. But yeah, I want to sort of test my skills. And so I thought it'd be fun to live stream this. So yeah, why not? I went on a random online C# test website and let's see how many of these we can get through. Maybe all of them, I don't know. So without much further ado, guys, let's get straight into this. So test number one: C# variables, data type structures, such and so forth. As you can see, there's exception handling. That looks quite fun. There's 20 questions, and apparently they're easy. So let's see how bad I do on this. Oh boy. Okay, let's go. Which of the following methods is an entry point in the C# console program? Public static void main. Public static void. What's the difference? Public static. These are the same. No? Oh, okay. This is a lowercase. That's uppercase. Public static void program. None of the above. I think it's the one with the uppercase. I don't usually use console. Now here comes my excuses. I don't. I don't typically use console project templates. Actually, I always use like UWP, so I don't really deal with this. But I think it's public static void main. But I think it's a capital main, so I'm gonna go with that. Oh, this one's timed. I'm being timed for this. Which of the following are value types? Which of the followings are value types in C#? Value types. Oh, okay. That's it. That's an interesting question. For easy set of questions, easy quote unquote. This is quite an advanced question. So we have int32, double, decimal, all of the above. I can only imagine by value types, this question is pertaining towards variables that are passed by value as opposed to passed by reference. Boy, I'm not even sure. So I'm gonna go for. I was gonna go for int32. I'm gonna trust my instinct and go for int32. Which of the following is a reference type? Yeah, exactly. So passing by value, passing by reference. I don't know this theory off by heart, so I'm gonna kind of try and glean it. So which of the following is a reference type in C#? I think it's string. I think it's string, guys. I'm gonna go for string. I don't know if there's a time limit. What is the nullable type in C#? Wait, let me read that again. What is the nullable type in C#? It allows assignments of null to reference type. It allows assignment of nulls to value types. Assignment of null to static class. Definitely not C. It's definitely not D. I don't think it's D. Assignment of nulls to values. No. Assignment of null. Oh. Isn't it a value to null? Oh, I think it's D. I think it's none of the above. Because a nullable type allows the assignment of a variable to be null, right? And you can make a nullable type. You can kind of like use the question mark operator to like null type to basically make a class variable nullable. So I don't think it's any of these. Assignment of null to reference type, value type, static class. Maybe it's the way I'm reading that. Struct is a, oh my gosh, I should have done my homework. Let's see, struct is a reference type, value type, class type, string type. Definitely not string type. Struct, it would be a class type, I think. 10 is greater than 9. 10 is greater than 9, question mark. 10 is greater than 9, colon. 9 is greater than 10. Is an example of what? Let's see. What does that say? Ternary operator, conditional operator, greater than operator, inverse operator. I guess it's greater than operator. It's definitely not conditional. I'm not even sure what ternary is, nor do I know what inverse operator is. I'm gonna guess it's greater than because I see a greater than symbol over there. Which of the following data type can be used with an enum? I know ints can be used. I believe strings and booleans. So I think it's all of them. I'm not too sure. What is an indexer? So A, it allows an instance of a class to be indexed like an array. B, an indexer allows enumerator with class. I don't think it's that. C, indexer creates indexes of instance of a class. I think it might be C. Unless I'm reading it wrong. It's either C or A. Creates index for instances of a class. Instance of a class to be indexed like an array. I don't really know how to read that. I mean, an indexer, from my understanding, you basically like if you have like an array or a list, an indexer keeps track of the chronological slots in the list or the collection. I think I'm gonna just go for A. I think I'm really botching this test. This might be a funny example of how the hard questions are easier than the easy questions, and the string is mutable, immutable static value type. Definitely not immutable strings. Static, not necessarily. Value type, I already said that strings are passed by reference, so I'm gonna say mutable because I think they can be changed. I'm probably wrong. It's either that or value type, but I'm going to say mutable. All arrays start with blank index. 0, because obviously arrays are 0 indexed. So it's B. There's 25 questions, I'm on 11. Which of the following is the correct way? Can you guys see the screen? Maybe I should zoom in. Maybe that's a little bit better. Which of the following is the correct way of declaring an array in C#? I don't really use arrays anymore these days, but let's see if I can remember. It's either A or C. Int array equals new int is C because you gotta declare the dimension of the array. So int array equals new int 5. So this array has a slot of 5. 0 indexed, of course. Which of the following is true for read-only variables? So for read-only variables, value will be assigned at runtime. Okay. So read-only variables, value will be assigned at compile time. Read-only variables, value will be assigned when it is accessed first time, or none of the above. Well, that's a good one. This is really like theoretical C#, actually. I won't lie, I do need to brush up my theoretical C#. Like, the theory behind C# is really fascinating, and I have studied it a little bit, but not enough, obviously. I think values are assigned at compile time, being read only. Is that right? Because at runtime, I could argue that I could modify a variable assignment at runtime, but read only would suggest to me a compile time assignment. Value be assigned when it is accessed first time. Could be C. I'm gonna go for B for now. Which of the following statements is true? Let me see. A. Try block must be followed by catch, or finally block, or both. Let's see. Finally block cannot include return statement. C. Try block can include another try block, which it can, I think. Or all of the above. It might be D because I think it is all of the above. Because I know a try block must be followed by a catch. You can't really have a try without a catch. So this is already correct, it seems. I remember once I was using finallys, a finally block, and I think I tried to return, it didn't work because finallys inherently return, and try blocks you can multi-nest try blocks. So I'm gonna go for D. Which of the following statements is true? A finally block may not. I need to speed run this next time just for fun. I'm 8 minutes in. I want to speed run this next time. A finally block may not execute every time. That's probably true. A return or break statement cannot exit a finally block. I don't think that's true. A finally block can come before catch block. No, that's not true. This is false. This is false. I think it's A. Oh, there's D. Multiple finally block is possible. I don't think that's true. A finally block may not execute every time. That's definitely true. Because you could return on the try or the catch. You know. Func and action are delicate types. Let's double check. Or are they generics? They might be generics, but I think they're delicate types. Definitely, yeah, I don't think they're generics. I think they're delicate types. Return types of predicate. Predicate of type T is always is it void? The return type depends on the type passed, is it not? So I would go for void. Predicate of type T is always. I'm gonna go for void for that one. Oh, but I might be wrong on that. I'm gonna stick with void. Go with my gut. Partial class. Oh yeah. So partial classes allows so partial classes allow A, implementation of single class in multiple CS files. All right. Partial classes allow B, declaration of multiple classes in a single CS file. C, partial classes allow implementation of multiple interfaces to single classes, or multiple class inheritance. It might be D, actually. It might be D. Implementation of single classes. Nah, I don't think it's A, because you can implement implement single classes in multiple CS files. I don't think it's A. Declaration of multiple classes in a single CS file. You can do that anyway. You don't need a partial class to have multiple classes in one CS file. Implementation of multiple interfaces to a single class. I doubt that. So I think it's D. I think it's multiple class inheritance. Link stands for. Why don't I know this? Language integrated query. I think it's A, but I don't use link. I don't use link functions really, as far as I am aware. So what does it stand for, guys? Let me know. I should put that off screen actually, so I don't distract you guys as well, as just like for my own sake. So link stands for language integrated query. I think it is this. Language integration language. Data type of a variable declared using var will be assigned at, I think, runtime. Compile time, anytime, application. I think it's runtime. Data type of variable declared using var will be assigned at what time? I think it's runtime. I might be wrong. Guys, if you know the answers, help me out on the chat. This is the last question. I thought it was 25 questions, but it's actually 20. Which of the following statements is true? The dynamic type allows multiple time declaration of a variable. The dynamic type allows compile time. I don't even know how to use dynamic types. The dynamic type allows compile time type checking. The dynamic type escapes compile time type checking. So the way I will glean this, I'll compare this with static types, and I'll just kind of reverse engineer the definition. So static types, by definition, you can't instantiate a static type class. So if I look at it like that, the dynamic type allows multiple time declaration of variable. I don't know if it's that. B, the dynamic type allows compile time type checkings. C, the dynamic type escapes compile time type checking. Because I'm not sure, I'm going to go for none of the above. Oh, I really did bad, guys. I got 8 out of 20. I got 40%. So I passed, and I say I passed because usually 40% is a pass bracket. But my C sharp theory is really slacking. Let's see what I got wrong so we can all learn. So I got the public static void main one correct. The answer was all of the above. It makes sense for question 2. Which of the following types are value types in C sharp? Obviously all of the above. I don't know why I got that wrong. What is the nullable type? It allows assignment of null. Oh, I misread the question. I misread this one. I thought it was saying, because this is saying it allows the assignment of value types to become null. That's what I was looking for. But it says, the way they phrased it, I got confused and I didn't know what it meant. Null to value types becoming null. So I got that wrong on me. A struct is a value type. Okay, that's fine. I'm learning on the go, so that next time I can do better. Ternary, I wouldn't have got that right. Question 7. What data type can be used? Oh yeah, of course, integer types. It makes sense. You can only use integer types with enumerator lists. I just realized that now. Like, even though you can have like if you had, say, a list of video games, like, I don't know, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate in an enumerated list, Street Fighter 6 in an enumerated list, they're represented by integers. So I got that wrong. What else did I get wrong? So a string is actually immutable. Okay, could do my homework there. Question 12 I got wrong. So which of the following is true for read-only variables? Values will be assigned at runtime. Actually, I think I learned that some years ago when I was coding back in the days. Back in my intern days. I had to, like, obviously I was in the weeds of all. When I say in the weeds, I mean like I was in the trenches, right? In the trenches of like C sharp theory and understanding C sharp. So I got question 14 wrong. Which of the following statements? Okay, this is interesting. So I said that, which of the following statements is true? I said that a finally block may not execute every time, but apparently the correct answer is a return or break statement cannot exit a finally block. Okay, it makes sense. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, it makes sense. I typically use try catches. Here comes my excuses. I use try catches for exception handlings. I very seldom use finally. I very seldom use finally blocks. That's my excuse. But I didn't actually know the answer to this. Okay, so predicate of type T is always a boolean. I thought so. Like, why would I return void for a type? I should have just guessed it. I got the link one correct. Question 17, a partial, okay, so this is interesting. Implementation of single class in multiple CS files. Okay, that's something new. Data type of variable var is at compile time, not runtime. And finally, dynamic type escapes compile time type checking. I'm not going to try again. I got 40% on that. I'll make a little log. I'm going to try and do a few of these tests. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm going to get my notepad out. So I'm going to do the next test, which is still in the easy category, and then I might retake the first test again. So C# test 1, I got 40%, which was how many? It was out of how many questions? I got 8 out of 20. Not really great. All right. Let's go back. Let's try test 2, which is about variables, data types, operators, loops, enums, collections, exception handling, events, object-oriented programming. Yeah, this is already going to be a little bit trickier. I can already tell. Let's go, guys. This looks fun. So I got some code. What will be the output of the following program? Int I console write line I. Int I console probably C. Because if int I, because I is not being assigned I is not being assigned a value, so I'll probably get a runtime error But will it be compile time? No, because this is a functional error. It will compile, but it won't really execute. So it's a runtime error, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's C. I think it's C, guys. What will be the output of the following code? If int I is assigned a value of 5, and I've got this j over here, console.writeLine, j is equal to I times 2. Well, it would seem that it would be B, but what is j? Is j a boolean type? Is j a double? Is j a float? Is j an int? So I think it would be compile time error, because this is a programmatic error rather than a functional error. This won't compile because assume I was using Visual Studio won't know what this J type is. So I'm gonna attempt for letter D. I'm gonna say compile time error. What will be the output of the following program? So I got a main function. I got a declaration of variable k as an int. Display is a function passing k as a parameter. Static void display. Int value is assigned 0. Already that's looking a bit weird. Int val, right? It's strange that I'm doing it like this. I've not really assigned values in the parameter overload before, like in a parameter bracket. That's a little bit weird to me. I'll put it as that for now. Let's see, console writeLine val, sign 0. So if I'm calling display value k, so whatever k is, which is an int, it will be passed here. It doesn't even make sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something, guys. I'm gonna go for compile time error. Because there's not even a value assigned to k. Or I might even get a warning, but not an error. Which of the following keyword is used to declare a variable type? Hold on a second, guys. Which of the following keyword is used to declare a variable type? Automatically determined by the compiler. Let me just read that again to myself. It's definitely not this keyword. It's not null. I don't think it's var. I think it's dynamic. Because of this keyword just means that you're qualifying a class that is within a particular file. A null type is obviously like an undefined value to a variable. A var type is like a general purpose. Var is like a kind of general purpose, if I may say, data type. So I'm gonna, by process of elimination, I'm gonna go for A. I'm going for dynamic. Which of the following data types can include maximum positive or negative integer or float values? Maximum positive, negative, integer, or float values. Probably a double. Probably a double precision number, but then it could be long. I think it's either A or B, but I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go for double. All right, what will be the output of this following program? So I have here, I have a main function. I have some assignments here. Int A is equal to 1, B is assigned 2, C is assigned 3, and I don't know what their data types are. But I'm not gonna overthink this. I'm really not gonna overthink it. Maybe by implicitly these are ints, obviously. So this is maths. I'm being tested on my mathematics. Alright, let's see what happens here. But then again, there is a way that logically C# handles algebra. So I would say to myself as an anecdote, I should aim to be the kind of developer that understands the way C# thinks. So this is quite handy for me. So does C# go for BODMAS? brackets over division, multiplication, addition, subtraction? Am I looking at it like that? Not too sure. Let's see. Let's just go for BODMAS for now. So brackets, okay, over division, multiplication. So let's start with multiplication. So A times B, so 1 times 2, we've got 2 plus B times C, so 6, 3 times 2 is 6, so it's 6 plus 2, 8, so it could be A, we might be looking at A, and by the same BODMAS rule, because there is a way that C# does analyze the brackets. I think it's BODMAS. So again, we got multiplication, so I'm guessing it's going to be 5. It's going to be A for now, but I'm going to still go through the maths. So A times B is 2, plus B times C, which is 6. So it's 6 plus 2, which is 8, minus C, which is 3, so 765. So I think it's A. Which of the following is the default access modifier in a namespace? It's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I think it's C. I think about this. Default access modifier in a namespace. Our namespace is public by default. They have to be, don't they? Because you can access a namespace anywhere in a program. Like pertaining towards like a library or something that you might have obtained, that you might have put in your directory. I'm gonna go for public. I'm gonna go for A. A constructor in a class can have a return type. That's true. Oh wait, hold on guys. A constructor in a class can have a return type. You can have a parameterless constructor, but you can pass values into a constructor via parameter, but you don't necessarily have to return anything. So I'm gonna say false. What will be the output of the following program? I think it's 20 questions. I'm on 8 minutes here. What will be the output of the following program? I've got a main function. It's so weird that they always give me these compile runtime error options, because it's just like, it just opens the possibility. I would prefer like closed multiple choice. I don't know. Anyway, so I've got string 1 and 2, and I got these strings here. String 1, string 2, string C#, console write line, object reference equals. Oh my days, I don't use this method, so I don't know what it does. I'm so sorry. I don't know what this function does. I don't use reference equals, and this is a closed book test. So I'm not gonna use Google or like ChatGPT or AI search. Let's try and glean this. So object, all right, reference equals string 1, string 2. Well, they're being assigned values of C#. I'm guessing it's doing some kind of like reference check, value reference check. Probably if the two parameters are the same. So it's another equality check, I think, but via reference, if that makes sense. And I learned in the previous test that strings are passed by value, if I'm not mistaken. Was it reference? I think they're passed by value. I thought it was reference, but I was wrong, I think. So let's just say false. I'm gonna go for false, guys. I might be wrong. I'm gonna say false. I know some of you guys might be just cringing at your screens, just how many questions I'm probably getting wrong. What will be the output of the following code? So I got var greet hello, var name Steve, console write line, $ greet name. Let's see what we got here. Is that an absolute operator? I'm not too sure. There's also a bit of white space here after hello. So I'm not too sure. Greet name. Greet. These are values. So the funny thing is, when you use like obviously double quotes, it's passed as a string, but because it's got these curly braces, I'm not too sure what's going on there. I think it's probably passing the value. So hello Steve. Oh, but I don't think you have the braces. Hello space Steve. I might be wrong. I actually not too sure about this one. I'm a bit thrown off by that. What will be the output of the following program? This will be the last test I do, guys. It's like 20 questions, so it's gonna be a really short stream. Int I equals 0. Right. They've given me all this logic, but the for loop is not correct. Because I haven't set my indexing range or anything like that. Unless that does something, but I don't think that will do anything. So I think it's a compile time error. The members of enum are always public and no access modifiers can be applied. I think that's true. Which of the following statements are true? Array, I do multiple choice? No. Array is a value type. Array is a reference type. Array is a primitive type. I think array is a primitive type. But then again, you do have that like strongly typed array class, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm wrong. Array is not a primitive type like boolean or string, I think. Ah, man, I'm so cooked. I'm not even sure, like... value type. Primitive type. This takes me back. I've already forgotten. I don't think it's C. I think it's reference. Because C# by definition is a reference type. It's a reference-based language in the sense that like assignments are made predominantly by reference unless you use like pointers or something. So I'm gonna just go for this. Array is a reference type. It could be C. What will be the output of this code? Sorted list. 2 true 1 1 for each dictionary entry KVP in sorted list. Okay. Value. Each dictionary entry KVP in sorted list, which is this. KVP.value. So key value. Key is the first entry, value is the second entry. Runtime 12. Wouldn't it be true 1? My gosh. But then can you even use... The other day I tried to use indexing. I could say I tried to use indexing in a dictionary, it didn't work. But this is for each. I don't think it's D. I think D is a red herring. I don't think it's 12. Key value, as in returning 1 and 2. It'd be 2 and 1, no? Unless it's doing it this way around. I think this is a functional error. So I'm gonna go for runtime. I'm gonna go for B, guys. I could be wrong. This is question 14. I'm really fascinated by what the answer is. I think it's a functional error. It's either that or it's D. It's either that or it's C, I think. So if I got question 14 wrong, I think the answer is 1, 2. I might be wrong on that. What will be the output? It's so funny how, like, for me, practically coding in C# is one thing, but then doing this theory stuff is like another thing in itself. I really want to be good at both, so I'm going to be doing my homework these days probably. What will be the output of, look at my excuses, guys. What will be the output of the following program? Probably static void main. Got a main function, val, get val, so I'm calling this function here. Oh, what that was? Error, compile, no output, program terminals, and so so some kind of like undefined behavior in a sense. Well, for starters, what's the return type of get val? Static int. I'm trying to wait. I've got a non-static variable being assigned the return type of a static function. Already there's like red flag to me. Because I wouldn't be surprised if this logic is sound. It looks pretty sound to me, but it's this bit that catches me. I think it's a compile time error. Let me see. I haven't even evaluated this. Array, try, return, array, 10. Oh, wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. I didn't read the question, did I? So I'm populating an array with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm trying to access slot 10, which makes no sense. There's only 5 entries in my array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's not 10. So what would happen is that it wouldn't even catch. I wouldn't even hit. It wouldn't even be an exception. Would it be an exception? Oh yeah, it would be an exception. I think it would be indexes outside the bounds of the array, right? So I'd then hit the catch. Console write like error occurred. So I don't think it's B. Oh wait, actually, it could still be B. Error occurred. No output. So the finally block wouldn't execute. I don't think the program would terminate because we're actually catching our exception. So it's not D. Our program won't unexpectedly terminate. The console would still output right line because we caught our exception. So it's not C. It's not no output. It's either an error occurred or compile time error. This is weird because A is general. Error occurred is a general thing, whereas B is a little bit more specific. But I don't think this would be a compile time error unless I'm looking at this. Gosh, I'm not going to trip up on this. But then, oh, sorry guys, but this is a static void function, so I don't have to worry about this not being static. The function is static in itself. So I think it's A. I could be wrong. What will be the output of the following program? So again, I've got a populating an array. I haven't really defined the bounds of the array, but I think that's fine. Try console. Unless I'm wrong, guys. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to access a slot here that doesn't exist. A 10th element where there's only 5. So try finally. Wouldn't it be try catch? Why would it be try finally? Wouldn't it be try catch? So what are the options? Compile time error? I don't think it's that. B, error occurred. It could be. Unhandled exception. System index out of range exception. I don't think it's about that. Oh, it is. But it's the fact that it would be an unhandled exception. Definitely wouldn't be I wouldn't experience a handled exception because I don't even have a catch. It will probably be an unhandled exception. No output and program terminates. So my best bet is to say index is outside the bounds of the array, because this is like the 10th element when there's only 5 slots. No output and program terminates. It could still be that, but I'm going to go for C. That's my best bet. Question 17. Which of the following is, let's see, built-in delegate function for handling events in .NET? I think it's C. Object sender event args E is built in. Events can also be declared static, virtual, sealed, and abstract. I think that's false. These are for classes. These are protection levels for classes. Let's go. I got slightly better results. I got 8 out of 18. So it's still pretty poor. I still got 8, but out of 18, that's a better percent. So I got 44%. C# test 2. I got 44%. I really want to see question 14. 8 out of 18. And these were kind of slightly dicey questions, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. C# test scores. So I'm gonna go. Let's have a look at what I got wrong here. My questions. Question 1 was already wrong. It's a compile time error, not a runtime error. Question 2, the answer was 10. I said it was an error. I was wrong. I got thrown off. This is implicit. Implicitly an int, so it's just common sense. Which of the following keywords used to declare a variable whose type? Oh, okay, of course it's a var. Because a var can be like, I can make an assignment for a var to be like an integer or like a double. So it makes sense that yeah, this makes sense. Big integer for question 5, not a double, that's fine. I got question 7 wrong. Oh, I thought that internal was I thought it was this answer for question 7. I went to put public because I thought namespace could be public, but I guess I was wrong. What would be the output of the following program? The answer is true. I said false. Question 11. Compile time error. The answer is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh? I don't even recall seeing this. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, I see it. Oh, this must be some kind of shorthand. This is probably a shorthand, guys. I've not seen this shorthand before, so I got super confused. I've never used this shorthand for semicolon, semicolon, so I thought that was an error already. So I didn't even bother reading the logic. So I got that wrong. I got question 14 wrong. I'm not surprised. It was 1 true. 1 true. But I got thrown off because they're using capitals and this is not capitals. I don't know. I feel weird about question 14. I said error occurred, but it's a compile time error. Fair enough. And I got the last one wrong. It's actually true, not false. I didn't know events could be abstract, sealed, virtual, and static. I thought these are protection levels for classes. Well, events are classes, so I guess I'm wrong. Guys, I'm gonna close this stream with one takeaway for myself. I'm criticizing myself in the sense of constructively analyzing what went wrong here, and I don't think it's my lack of like C# theory per se. And I find this with all throughout my academic career. I'll admit, when I do average or subpar on a test, it's not because I don't know how to work out an answer. It's that I kind of don't go through the workings thoroughly enough, right? And so when I look at the answers, I sort of kind of be like, oh, I kind of knew that, but I didn't really think about the question thoroughly enough. So that's a key takeaway for me. This has been really, really productive for me, actually. The numbers are quite solid here, so yeah, guys, this was a fun little stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I might do a couple more of these tests. I'll definitely do my homework for the next one, and I hope you enjoyed this fun little live stream, guys. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. So have a great day, guys, and take care. Bye bye now. See you.